It's Immortals of Spring all over again.
Like, I don't believe it's the same Immortals as Spring, but obviously I'm a bit biased.
I'll ask just because everyone's talking about it.
It's rough to see. Like, I'm pretty pissed from the game.
I'm joined by Inero after the unfortunate Game 2 loss against NRG. A lot of people are saying that it's Immortals of Spring all over again, and that you guys can get all these leads and you just can't figure out how to close out the games. Well, what's going on with Immortals?
Honestly, today we played like absolute dog shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. The players all know that too. I mean, first game, like what we do on second grubs, every team knows at this point. Like if you get the first 3 grubs, the second grubs is a pretty guaranteed gold lead for you. It's a pretty guaranteed winning situation if you play it correctly. We really fucked that one up. End up giving a lot of gold over to Jax, which is terrible for us to do that game. A lot of the swapping is intended to fuck that matchup up and then guarantee that we're in a good spot for first grubs and guarantee a gold lead later. But if you don't do it correctly, it just fumbles everything, doesn't look great for us. And then we just make some pretty bad individual errors, unfortunately. And then game 2, like we do our swap correctly. We managed to get like at least a little bit off the second grubs, which is nice. Get a little gold juicer for us, and we're happy like scaling up in that game. Like we're just gonna want to punish on a 2-item spike with Lucian. Be a bit more aggressive on mid. We've got Ivern to help us scale up for later once he hits Dawn Core as well. It's pretty much GG when it hits that point with Ivern, but just a little too passive and we mess it up. It's rough to see. Like I'm pretty pissed from the game. You know, the players are pretty pissed from the game. We already had like a pretty big talk afterwards about how doing stuff like this isn't acceptable, especially best of 3. We gotta like shake off one loss and just not give a shit like it didn't happen and have to play it out. And unfortunately, like if we can't do that, you know, you end up in this situation. So I'm pretty confident, at least in the team. We've gotten a lot better in a lot of team concepts. Like I don't believe it's the same Immortals as Spring, but obviously I'm a bit biased. Like this team didn't really have very much going in the way of like coordinated like team plays together that you could see. But I think our early, we clearly have like ideas of what we're looking to do, whether we succeed in it or not. Last week versus Cloud9, we completely fumbled all of that stuff, which is a bit rough, but I'm glad we could at least do it today versus Energy and not completely whiff it. But we got to get way better on that since we've got TL Fly coming up.
I'll ask just because everyone's talking about it, but Tactical having to go QSS because Armeo didn't go Mikhail's and went Ardent instead. I don't know the exact numbers, but there were cases where Tactical almost killed, like when you guys were sieging the top tower, top inhib tower, Armeo lived with like sub 100 HP, and people were like, if he didn't have QSS there and actually had an item, you know, I don't know, maybe he didn't have the Ardent buff, but in general, what was the logic behind, you know, not having Tactical pay the tax instead of Armeo?
That was their plan. They were initially talking about it, and they talked in the game that Nami would end up getting it. Unfortunately, I don't think we're doing the assessment that it's going to take Nami a little bit to get to that, you know, Mikhail's point. So yeah, it's getting to that point in the game of like, fuck guys, we don't have one yet, and we want to hit 3rd item Dawn Core on Ivern. So guess we're getting a QSS. You know, a bit tragic.
Okay, yeah,
we all knew that one. We talked about it before the game. It's Mikhail's game. We had this conversation in scrims actually, funny enough, yesterday too. So it's a bit tragic.
Yeah, the draft, looking at the draft, I was like, oh my god, you guys, there's no way you guys win after 2, like lose after 2 items, especially with, yeah, they just have, you guys have all answers to everything that they do, and it's kind of sad to see that, you know, you fumbled it towards the end. One thing we saw this game was Tactical getting caught mid. Last year, people were calling him out for getting caught. I think there was like a Draven game where he gets caught by like a Corki package. There's just multiple instances of just Tactical getting caught in mid. Is this like a symptom, or is it actually a problem? Because it could be like, oh, everyone's supposed to be there, but for some reason they're not, and so it looks bad on Tactical. Or is it like something that maybe he does that he needs to fix on?
That's always a bit of a like 2-way street with that. Like it's a team error. I like to approach things in the team of like if an individual messes something up where they're out of position where they're not supposed to be, it's frankly on all of us too. That person takes accountability, but like, hey, as a team, you also know this guy shouldn't be here at this time, right? So like you can't even get mad at him because you can call him out in game and say like, bro, back up. Like you can't play here right now. Careful. So if we're not catching that as a team and someone dies out, like, yeah, hey, Eddie, that's on you. But you got to make sure you don't get picked off here. But on all of us, like we're not paying attention. We don't we don't care about our teammate dying. We're down to play this without illusion or what? So yeah, like it's something that is ultimately like a team issue of knowing like when it's our round and when it's not. But you know, he already takes that accountability after the game. Like he came out and said that you know he messed up.
All right, I'll try to. That was enough. Like talking about the games. I have a different game to play with you. I have like
Okay,
40 pro players from all around the world, and you're going to be ranking them blind. Cool.
ranking them blind.
Yeah, so
Okay,
you have to rank 1 through 5, but you only, you don't know who comes next. So I will
Mm.
pick out the first one. It is humanoid.
Humanoid, and I have to rank them 1 through 5,
Yeah.
and this is everyone in the world.
Well, 4 major
Uh,
regions actually, not everyone in the world, but yeah.
four major regions. Okay. I'll go with a 3 then.
All right.
Let's do 3.
Humanoid at
Safe
3.
bet.
Next comes Doimby.
The fuck. Okay. What year are we talking about though?
I
Are we
think
telling
they're
the best
each.
years or what?
Oh, I think like all-time peak.
All time peak. Okay. I'm gonna leave room because there might be someone better in this. I'll do 2. I'll do 2 for Doinby.
All right. Next one is upset.
Upset. I'll do 5.
Okay.
No flame.
Next
Sorry, man.
is Chovy. Good thing you left number
Okay.
1.
Okay. Number one. Number one.
All right.
Faker.
So last
Next.
one, figure at 4. Last one is Mako. Oh wow.
Nico. Okay. 4. It's the only one left.
Yeah.
Whatever. Not bad. Honestly, decent. Decent enough.
Yeah, I think Spica ended up putting Faker 5th. Tactical put Faker 4th because he didn't have a choice, and then Contract had to put Dardock number 2, I think, something like that.
Goat. Jesus. Nice.
So moving forward, obviously it sucks to lose in the way that you did, but what are you guys planning to do over the 2 weekend break, but theoretically, like functionally 21 days?
Functionally 21 days. Well, obviously scrim. We're obviously practicing. Um, the last 2 weeks have been pretty heavily focused on like this whole like AP jungle thing and trying to maximize this. A lot of teams have like a little theory about a lot of the jungle champs are second support bottom and how to maximize that. And it's been a pretty big focus where you have like Ivern, Zyra, you show up bot lane at like fucking 3 minutes and you're just in lane and it's impossible. So like in our game, the Callista Ashe, like they can't really punish you in lane when there's an Ivern there or a Zyra just sitting there throwing plants at you. So we've been pretty focused on that, trying to maximize that early and like stall out these situations with ADs that are happy to scale. But really just going to be focusing a lot more on really our vision game. We fucked up that really hard today. And again, just trying to build good habits. It's really the focus is just trying to hammer in like how much these habits matter and using these stage losses as a example of if you're not doing this consistently, you can lose a game, and that's huge.
Okay, are you guys planning on taking any like couple days break, or is it just like pedal to the metal?
We're taking 2 days off instead of 1, so that's really it. We're adding an extra off day. Otherwise, we're keeping it going.
Okay, what is Immortals' goal? Like, is it let's make playoffs and see where we can go, or is it like we're really pushing to make worlds? Like, what is the sort of expectation that the players have?
I mean, realistically, it is just like getting to playoffs. Like that is where the team wants to be. Like the players want to be in that position, so they can actually like compete, play a best of 5. Me, I'm always shooting for worlds. I think it's a bit crazy to say like, oh yeah, worlds is on the radar, and we just lost to Energy 0-2. But that is always what I'm shooting for on any team that I'm on, and I'm trying to hold the team to that expectation. So I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to try to use this as a loss that ultimately doesn't matter if we just beat the teams we need to beat at Worlds, and if we lose to them, well, we didn't deserve it anyways.
And does it affect you at all when everyone's just like bullying you, even in the IMT content, and making fun of your bald head?
No, it's honestly funny. Like I do it all the time. Like fuck, we scrimmed dig yesterday, and Sven just joins the lobby and immediately just says bald. Anytime I say anything, it says bald. So no, it's chill. I'm pretty used to it, and it's honestly just it's a meme, so it's fun.
All right, man. I appreciate your time, and good luck in your next few games. That was fun. That was a fun interview. That last question, maybe I should have asked it a little earlier. But regardless, it was a pretty fun interview. It was nice to meet Inero. It's funny, a lot of people that weren't in the scene when I first joined last split have come back. Sven has come back. What's his name? Inero, Licorice. There are a bunch of Speaka that I didn't get the opportunity, and I didn't know if I would ever get the opportunity. But hey, it's been pretty cool. Yeah, thank you guys for 2,100 subs now. It feels like just 10 days ago I was saying thank you for 2,000, and now we're at 2,100. So it's been really cool seeing the growth. And throughout this like break, I will be streaming more often, and I'll be like doing some call to actions for people to come join and give me feedback and just talk about what you'd like to see on this channel, what things, what ideas, what things you liked, what things you didn't like, things you would like to see in the future, just whatever it is. I'm open to all suggestions. So yeah, come hit me up. We got a long break to talk about this kind of stuff, so it's gonna be useful for the both of us.